And unfortunately, we'll have a lot to say about this performance from a South African point of view. But no matter how long we speak, it will not change. South Africa's journey at the 2026 FIFA World Cup comes to an end. And you look at those full-time statistics there. 6 attempts at goal for South Africa, 1 on target. 12 attempts coming through from Canada, 7 of those on target. You look at that ball recovery, South Africa slightly quicker than Canada there with just a 4-second margin. Passes completed, South Africa more passes as well than a Canadian side. But it's just that critical stat that matters the most, finding the back of the net and being on the scoreboard.
For me, what stands out is the ball recovery. We did win the ball, but I think we were also slow in trying to counter the spaces. It's almost as though there was a lot of things happening in the head. But then again, I'm going to mention that in many instances when we're supposed to progress and go towards the final third of the opposition, we were trying to come back and rebuild. Perhaps that's also the instruction they received from the coach to say that let's build slowly, you know, without putting ourselves under pressure. But in some cases, I think as players, as much as coach has a plan, you need to make those crucial decisions because obviously you need to have match awareness and see where the opportunities are coming from. So that, I think it's a good point that they were actually able to recover the ball as quickly as possible. But just transitioning from winning the ball to attacking, I think they took a bit too long.
But you also look at those goalkeeper saves coming through in this encounter. Ronwen Williams making 5 saves in comparison to the 1 for Canada. That also tells us perhaps where that ball position for South Africa was. Yes, we had a lion's share of the ball position, but where was it?
On the other hand, I'm looking at the Canadians. They made 5 changes, managing the physical component of their players. They've played these South African players, I think 90% of them, they played the 3 games. And there was a stage whereby second half, I thought probably the coach would be gambling to say, okay, let's try new fresh legs. I know we're talking about the rhythm, but did we have a rhythm? No. Because now we're going back to say, was it a good sub for Relay? Also, you can say, no, he didn't show up first half. But this is not a time whereby we criticize, but we're looking at the points that probably could have enhanced Bafana Bafana to have shifted from 3rd gear to 4th. Because Canada, the way we thought they were going to come and put pressure and come with the speed and all that, they didn't do that. They allowed you to have the ball.
They did it in moments.
They just said, no, have the ball. And when they want to say to you, kick it forward, 2 players come and pressurize you, kick it forward. So you're doing what they are actually showing you what to do. Because the only time that we play the ball forward is when 2 players are coming only. So clearly then that means our build-up attack was not spot on.
Their captain, Ronwen Williams, just speaking on how proud he is of the South African players and just how they turned up at this World Cup and saying that they can leave this World Cup with their heads held up high.
To be honest with you, V, I was looking at the ball recoveries and looking at the number of passes. There is a very good correlation. And if you look at all the matches, you would see the one that has got more passes, because it means they are playing in shorter distances, they will always a quicker recovery time on the ball. But the issue is, upon regaining possession, how many times do we look for verticality and immediately support? And if you can check Canada, that's where they were stronger. They win the ball, 1 back pass, and it's going deep and they support. And that's why they create and they manufacture more chances. With us, we are content with winning it, go back, back, and back. You get what I'm saying? It's so easy for us, upon regaining possession in a good position, then from there it goes to the 6 goes to the centre back goes to the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper will probably have more touches than many players on the pitch. You must check that. And it's an area that we must work hard on, that we win it, we establish play, and we find possibility for verticality so that we can help them and maybe have more up-back throws. And if you look at Canada, that's what they did more than us. Upon winning it, they played deep with an opponent behind. They played backwards, and it goes further again. And with those up-back throws, it creates more opportunities for them. And they are not a team that dribbles a lot. But because of that, they have the mentality to play vertical. And that is what hurts most South African players. We are content with finishing the game having not played a forward pass sometimes.
Then coming up against a team a little bit further than South Africa, but same as the captain, really just sharing those same sentiments, speaking of really proud of the nation.
I think the boys showed up. He spoke about the youth within the squad, and I think it's more about the competition level, some of them getting that exposure almost for the first time. So well-gained experience, some of them showed up, the mentality, perhaps it was right, but perhaps it was also within the structure that kind of destabilized what we were building upon, because in the first half, we did look like we were going to get something. Also looking at the ball position, that there was consistency in them. But again, as you mentioned, Uguti, where was the ball position at? Because we did not really become a threat in the final third year Canada. But also I think that's why it also speaks to the Stetsara goalkeeper. He has 5 shots which he had to stop because everything was being built backwards instead of going forward. But I think for the squad, I think for each and every individual, this was a great opportunity, a great experience. They have learned, now it's about going back and looking at individual challenges or areas of development, the gaps that they have. And should the coach still be part of the squad, then he also needs to, together with his technical team, look at who are we as South Africa? How do we want to, approach the next tournaments that are coming up? Do we want to have a point of reference, which is a striker that is going to be up front? Do we build? But again, the switch of play, how do we quickly transition and attack as quickly as possible? Because I think just like Canada, had we become so quick to pressure and move into the different spaces, we were actually going to put them under pressure. Because I think there's one incident that we saw that I spoke about earlier to say, should we be able to cut the ball from the right and play diagonal, we'll find that space behind Johnson. And it actually happened. I think it was Wapolis that took a shot that almost converted into a goal. So it's just about us having a clear identity as well and just working and building on that.
Speaking of Apollos, we also saw him trying to take some of those chances, of course, outside the box, as South Africa was starting to grow into the game after having started off a little bit quiet. Let's hear from Ozzy now. Asan Apollos there just speaking on today's game, and I mean you can just feel that disappointment as well as that heartbreak. I think that's probably echoing throughout the entire South African country at this moment. Let's take you back now to Rivonia. Of course, there was a watch party. We'll take you to that via an ad break, and then we'll continue with our wrap-up and take a look at some of those key moments and possibly what could have been done differently in tonight's game.
Yeah, we're still at the venue, McDonald's Rivonia Square. And a tough one, it's a tough pill to swallow. Hey, Gunzi, masizotini bantwini?
Sotinvel.
How are you feeling when I'm in your game?
I'm so mad. I don't even know what to say. Like, I'm so frustrated.
So where to from here? Which teams do we then go on to support in the tournament? Do you support the African countries that are still there at the tournament, or outside in Guinea World Cup?
Well, Pirates. We are trusting Pirates. So what can we do? Because they are disappointing us anyways. 3 minutes. What do you mean? So, yeah, I'm very frustrated, but it's fine. We're very proud of you guys. We love you guys. Come back home, and we are on. Best.
Yeah, I think it's frustrations from everyone, especially conceding last minutes of the match. I think if we had conceded early and lost 1-0, would have been understandable. But conceding towards the later part of the match and losing like that, yeah, I'm also lost for words. But yeah, we can only be grateful and applaud the gents for qualifying, getting out of the group stages and qualifying for the round of 32. I think they've made us proud. And yeah, look, a game of football, it's win or lose. And at this time, it was a loss for us. And we can only say, thank you to Amachita for the effort. Yeah.
We love you guys.
Bafana Kaufela, Bafana Kaufela.
Right, the coach speaking about decisions to be made in the next days and next weeks, but he also touches on just the power and speed that tonight's game was about.
No, I think he's very honest there. I think the hunger on the Canadians was visible. The aggression in their press, in those moments when they were pressing, and in their transitions from defense to attack, when they come out, you could see the purpose, the guile, and the desire to really force fouls sometimes. And to be honest, I think we should be proud of this Bafana team. In my opinion, the first match was a disaster, but from there I think we picked up and we really showed what South Africa is capable of. Nobody now will think South Africa is a pushover based on the performances that we have given. So from where I'm sitting, I think we should be proud of the boys, and honestly speaking, I think they've taken our flag into the next level, and the FIFA rankings are also telling a story.
Absolutely. We went into the FIFA World Cup number 60. We're 54 now, having moved up those 6 slots. But Doc, also this group of Bafana Bafana players created their own history, because for so long we were always looking at 1996, but they really created their own history, being the first South African team to make it into the knockout stage of the FIFA World Cup and not to have to live under the shadow of the AFCON winning squad.
Yeah, no, it's true. They did create their own history. They actually wrote it. And look, this is a big stage, you know, and we've been struggling. The past 3 World Cups, we failed to qualify for the knockout stage. And, I mean, having a player like Mofokeng at the World Cup, you know, that age, that physique, clearly South Africa is heading towards the right direction. I mean, we're not looking at what happened today. We're looking holistically
at the journey.
Everything. Yeah. At the journey. These boys, remember at some stage, there were 2 points, 3 points taken away from them, and they managed, they qualified. They qualified for, was it AFCON? And here they are, bad start, not bad, but they lost to the host, you know. We've got good reasons for them to say they lost to a better team. And slowly but surely they picked up. And today, if really, you know, I would say luck was on our side, we'd probably be talking a different ball game. They held a team that had given a lot of countries problems in this World Cup. And for them to bow like this, yes, critical phase, the coach will tell you, we always say critical phase is always need to be respected. But that's a game of football. And pointing a finger, it's not going to help us. Yeah. But I would like to say, from here, we need to pick up pieces and take it to another level. Because we tend to relax, and then when it's the next World Cup, that's when we're like, who's coming, who's not coming. We don't have a plan. So now, here's the group of players that, like the coach is saying, that has shown the whole world what South Africa is all about. And here are the young players that are there on the field. You're looking at Mbogazi, Akon, really, you'll name them. There are so many. And our next World Cup, which should be better than this, but I'll be the first one to go to the airport and say, Siyabonga.
Well done.
Thank you very much. Well done, boys. This is not the end of the world. We go forward.
Absolutely. You look at the team being the 8th youngest out at the 2026 FIFA World Cup in terms of the average age of the squad. They really carried the South African flag with so much pride. And for that, we'll forever be grateful to this group of the Bafana Bafana team. Let's take you through to an ad break. When we return after the break, we continue with our wrap-up. We also get thoughts from South Africans, of course, at the McDonald's watch party in Rivonia in terms of the outcome here and what those big takeaways are. Stay tuned.
It's a really somber moment out at McDonald's in Rivonia. But listen, we had a fantastic, nevertheless, we really had a fantastic time. But of course, the fans are not happy. I'm not happy. I'm so disappointed, so crushed. And I know somebody else who is. What happened today?
Lerato, I don't know where to start. My heart is paining so much. But to be honest, you know what? I would like to first say a big shout to our Minister of Sports, Kate Mackenzie, and the whole team for allowing those who were not allowed before to have a taste of the World Cup. So I would like to say thank you, Minister. You did us proud. But coming back to the game, you know what? I think we're over-comfortable and we forgot that these are the stages when you are knocked out, you are out. There's no other second chance. Yeah. And also, like I said, the big players, some of our big players did not come into the party. And also, I'm saying to my coach, before he would have substituted Rilem Fukeng, he was supposed to find out where the problem was. Why was the guy not receiving the balls from the midfield? And you know, if you take Mbata, you take Stole, you take Tebogo Mkwena, it's just one same player. So by so doing, he allowed Canada to come at us. He was supposed either to sacrifice Mkwena or sacrifice Stole to bring in Mbata.
Marapapa Mufukeng was being boxed a lot. Do you think maybe perhaps the coach thought, let me just rather save him and protect him?
I understand that he was boxed a lot.
Yeah.
So in order for him not to be boxed, he was supposed to find a way, someone to play around him, so that he can be released. Absolutely. You know, to play helicopter football, it's not our culture. By bringing those three players and leaving Makupa in front, he wanted us just to play long balls. Yeah. And those guys are taller than us. And that sucker punch, you know, is something which is going to stay in my heart forever. Yeah. Because I had high hopes that maybe last 16 or even go all the way to the quarterfinals. Sure. But you know, I would like to shout also to Mbogazi. That guy is phenomenal, and you know what? I wish we had 4 Mbogazis in the team. Yeah. Would have done much better. But you know what? Always what I can say is that to my boys, well done. You flew our flag very high. You made us proud, even though it's very painful. But we take it with a pinch of salt and say what? We'll rally behind Banyana now. Sure. Because they are there for us.
I was about to say, next up, you know, not all is lost. Next up is WAFCON. We are rooting behind Banyana. We are there in the forefront. We are supporting them as much. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. That's where I think our hearts will be healed, because at the moment, Bafana Bafana tried their level best, but it wasn't meant to be.
You know, of all the people that I've seen now just after the match, I think Unomuntu says in a smile on their face, and it's this lady over here. Why the smile?
Unfortunately, these are not the results that we expected. We were expecting to progress to the last 16, but football is cruel. Football can kill you. As much as football brings people together and can put a lot of smiles on our faces, it can also bring sad moments. We gathered here with the hope that we're going to be walking out of here celebrating and planning, looking forward to the next game, but it wasn't to be. Yeah, it wasn't to be. Nonetheless, we are still very proud that Bafana Bafana South Africa has made history. They have made it to the last 32, something that has never been done before. So we're still taking that with pride. Results are what it is.
Well, of course, we saw the South African fan, Itumeleng, just speaking to Ulinda Mtambo, just taking him through her thoughts in terms of what transpired here today. But we now take you to the man of the match in this encounter, and absolutely no surprises when you look at who gets to walk away with that accolade, because we're here with Castle Lager, the proud sponsor of Bafana Bafana, and official sponsor of the FIFA World Cup 2026. All right, and we speak of that man of that match in this encounter. Let's take you through. This is hindsight is the best foresight, as they say. Let's take you through to an ad break. When we come back, we continue with our wrap-up, and we'll also let you know what you can still look forward to on SABC Sport at the 2026 FIFA World Cup.
Coach.
Yeah. We're still at McDonald's out here in Rivonia Square, and I think people have even lost their thoughts. My brother over here says he's from the Eastern Cape in Cape Town. So yeah, how do you feel about the result namhlanje?
No, dudes, I'm feeling jiggy, man. Like I'm just chilling. I'm just sad, like against Canada.
Ash.
Yo, but like yeah, they did good. They played good.
Yeah.
But like yeah, no dues, I'm sad, man.
Yeah, no, understandable. So where to from here? Do we go on, to support the other African countries that are still there?
Yeah, man. I feel like we should support them. They're from like Africa and shit.
Yeah.
Like,
So with the teams that are there, Morocco,
Morocco is taking it. Morocco is taking it. Trust me.
So
like,
now
no
we are
dues.
going with Morocco.
Yeah.
All right.
We Morocco now.
Okay. all right. I think Morocco has got themselves a fan in this World Cup. And yeah, disappointing one. But yeah, hey, kunzima. Sizothina bantwini. Yeah.
Oh man, what an incredible night it has been. It was fantastic. It was electrifying. I mean, not the results we expected, but as I mentioned earlier on that I was a little bit worried about Canada coming on a little bit strong. Yeah? Underestimated them.
Yeah, I think we underestimated them.
Yeah.
I don't think the boys really, showed up like they did against South Korea.
Yeah.
When you look at the game, namhlanje, too many turnovers in midfield, was sloppy. We just didn't find our rhythm, in the game. And look, man, a bitter pill to swallow, especially conceding towards the end of the match.
Yeah.
When we thought, that's the critical phase of the game. Would have thought that maybe they could have, kept it solid and went on into the, extra time, and maybe then try to add more numbers going forward to get a goal. But it wasn't to be. But I think from the game we can still, take a lot of positives. Mbogazi being a standout performer.
Yeah.
I think he's been exceptional in this World Cup.
Absolutely.
He deserves everything that's coming, his way. He's shown that age is just a number. He can compete with the best in the world. I'd love to see, where his next destination is. He's really proven that.
If not in Europe.
Yeah, it has to be in Europe,
Yeah,
most definitely. It has to be in Europe. He's played extremely well.
Yeah.
He's got all the qualities to be one of the best defenders, not in the country, but in the world.
Friend, I want to ask you where to from here, but next up we've got Bafana Bafana. We are rooting behind Bafana Bafana. You and I are going to be there, crossing fingers that we'll make our way to Morocco.
Yeah. All our support will go to Bafana. But again, we still have a lot of other African countries that are still in it at the World Cup. So Africa is still well represented. We're still in the World Cup, to show the world who we are.
Absolutely. And Linda and I and Angela Linda, we are not done. You can catch us every single day on S3, that's SABC 3, between 16:30 and 17:30, where we still bring you all the World Cup highlights. It was absolutely amazing. Sad, but till the next time.
Yeah, till the next time. But catch us tomorrow, 16:30 till 17:30. Where we bring you everything. We speak football, lifestyle, culture, and everything else off the pitch.
Yeah.
So catch us there. An exciting show that we have for you. We'll give you breaking news, stories in the dressing room, something that you've never seen. So catch us tomorrow on SABC 3.
And I want to say, Pagama, Bafana Pagama, ixesha lifikile. Let's go.
Of course, as we also build up to the Women's Africa Cup of Nations. But there we go, the first nation that puts its name down for the round of 16. They will, of course, face either the Netherlands or the Atlas Lions of Morocco in that round of 16. But this is what you can certainly look forward to on SABC. As we continue with the 2026 FIFA World Cup, we'll bring you Brazil up against Japan, as well as Cote d'Ivoire taking on Norway. That's going to be on Monday and Tuesday. And Wednesday, it's England up against DR Congo. Spain will then take on Austria on Thursday. And that big one, this is the one you wanted, Guinea, Argentina, Cabo Verde. Give me what you think your expectations are in terms of that clash.
Coach, we always say Cabo Verde is going to be a draw.
Yes.
They'll probably go to penalties, and then I think the goalkeeper will be tested in this situation. They can really.
Vizinha must step up in the penalty shootout.
Like, I think
Argentina, Verde.
Yes.
Yeah.
Penalty shootout.
Yes.
Coach.
I'm telling you.
Have faith,
I'm
Coach.
telling you.
No, I do, but
Have faith. I would like to see who's going to be tasked to bring
Who's
down
better
Umes.
between the two?
Spain. Between Spain and Argentina?
Yes.
Spain.
they stopped Spain.
Yeah, phela ngaleso sikhathi
Awa.
beku-first game.
Awa.
Spain bengakavuki,
No.
bebasalele,
Mina ngifuna ukubona nje
sebavukile.
ukuthi who's going to be tasked to
Cape Verde
keep
is
down
very
Messi.
difficult to
Very
break down.
difficult. So I think for me, I'm looking forward to that one. The goalkeeper especially is going to be tested. We've seen him in different spaces, his ability to control the ball. So now I think getting to the next level now, he's going to be tested should they go to penalties. But also I think just them drawing back and then playing those long balls. So
All right.
it's going to be a very interesting one.
That's, of course, the round of 32.
Masai
We'll be
there.
bringing you all the action on the SABC. Let's take you back to the Los Angeles Stadium and hear from Umrembula. There's Umrembula as well, also very heartbroken, and we do apologize for that language in the heat of the moment there, Umrembula. But taking accountability as well and just saying he does feel that he played some role in Canada being able to find that goal.
Our biggest challenge has been the critical phases of the game. You know, in this moment where everybody should be saying it's a time where we should not commit a mistake. Because if you look at the body language of the players in and around Eustáquio before he took a shot, you could see that he was well in check. And numerically we were superior in the box. So we did not need Sitole to deal with that. We did not need Tebogo to jog behind him. We needed a midfield that was going to shift and be ready that for anything that will be a cutback, we will be ready for it. In between the defenders, we will clear that ball, and that second ball that will come from Bogazi or Oikon, we will take care of it. And we did not do it. It's a basic thing. And a game of football is decided in these small margins with things that you could anticipate.
And we did say it would be a game of small margins coming into today's game. Well, thank you so much, South Africa, for tuning in. Your Aunt Crush, Dr. 16 Vulavala, the maestro in Kinelo Matibela, as well as television, Coach Mangoba Mngisi. It's been a beautiful one. We're happy that Coach Hugo Broos leaves, of course, the South African team with a legacy of success, I mean, you can say, and on upward trajectory. That's how we wrap up our production tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have yourselves a very good night. It's almost morning, and God bless.